Today on Fast Food Origins, we are going to talk about the origin of Little Caesars. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Fast Food Origins channel and let us know in the comments below what fast food restaurant origins you would like to know more about. So let's get right into it. Few people will admit to going to Little Caesars just for the pizza, but many others do so in search of a quick, decent, reasonably priced pair of pizzas that will serve the entire family. They've created an empire focused on providing pizza on demand, which is a major accomplishment in today's hectic society. What do you not know about one of America's favorite locations for lightning-fast pizza delivery? One of the biggest pizza chains in the country is Little Caesars. Additionally, it runs and franchises pizzerias abroad in the Caribbean, Latin America, Canada, Australia, Asia, and the Middle East. And even though the pizza chain only provides dine-in and carry-out options, it is still the third largest pizza restaurant in the nation. Additionally, they provide services for persons who follow stringent diets like the keto and gluten-free. Let's learn how this eatery got started. It was a significant gamble for Mike Ilitch to launch Little Caesars. On May 8, 1959, he and his wife Marion invested their whole life savings into starting their pizzeria. Today, that first restaurant on Cherry Hill Road in Garden City, Michigan, is still operational and still taking orders from patrons. Little Caesars Pizza Treat was the name at the time. The pizzeria is well known for its tagline, Pizza, Pizza. It was first used in a commercial for a promotion offering 2 pizzas for the price of 1 in 1979. In the beginning, Little Caesars served pizza, chicken, fries, and spaghetti. Mike and Marion Ilitch sold over 296 pizzas in their first week of operation, and they soon discovered that having a high-quality product available at competitive costs was the secret to their success. Due to the success of their venture, they were able to open a second restaurant in just 2 years. Furthermore, Little Caesars had established and franchised over 50 locations by the end of the 1960s, including one in Canada. Little Caesars used to provide delivery service, but in the 1970s the business decided to switch to carry-out orders instead. When compared to waiting 35 to 45 minutes or an hour for delivery, picking up a pizza at Little Caesars is incredibly quick, according to his customers. And while it is undoubtedly true, there is a little more to it than that. Little Caesars would probably find it difficult to provide delivery since everyone else already does so. Additionally, many places' clientele tends to reside in underdeveloped economic zones, which would result in lesser driver tips. Delivery costs would increase the cost of the pizza, and they take pleasure in keeping prices low. According to Scrivano, there is simply no reason to begin offering delivery since they have grown to be so well liked by their clients, and many families already include a visit to Little Caesars in their daily schedules. Little Caesars introduced its 2-for-1 concept in 1971 and made it a constant part of their marketing strategy. In other markets, this marketing compelled rivals to imitate their 2-for-1 deal. Little Caesars pizza is distinctive because it only contains natural ingredients, such as pizza dough made from high-gluten flour, grated cheese, and specifically cultivated California tomatoes. They take pleasure in using only natural spices rather than the artificial flavorings that are prevalent across the pizza industry. To cultivate, package, and deliver mushrooms to all of their locations, they established Little Caesars Mushroom Farms, Inc. Since it was successful, more goods were introduced, and Blue Line Foodservice eventually emerged. Blue Line today has 14 U.S. sites and 1 in Canada, despite the fact that it was initially established to serve Little Caesars. Throughout the 1980s, Little Caesars maintained its quick expansion and marketing innovation. The pizza franchise had 226 locations and $63.6 million in revenue. And by the middle of the decade, their yearly sales had increased to $340 million. Little Caesars' successful expansion was made possible by their carry-out-only policy, market saturation, and 2 pizzas for the price of 1 deal. Only takeaway was available at 1,200 to 1,800 square feet in over 98% of Little Caesars' location, because they needed fewer busboys, waiters, dishwashers, and servers. The other pizzerias that just offered delivery and sit-down service had cheaper overhead and upkeep. With their mobile Love Kitchen, Little Caesars goes above and beyond the ways that the majority of businesses give back to their communities. Along with numerous additional honors and acknowledgments, they have received several presidential awards for their efforts since starting the mobile kitchen in 1985. They made the announcement in 2014 that they were expanding their fleet to include a second mobile kitchen. By that point, they had served more than 3 million meals to displaced or homeless families. Throughout the year, they send their kitchens across the nation to feed the hungry, and during a natural disaster, they mobilized to travel to the worst-hit areas. They continued the tradition that saw the Love Kitchen deployed to the sites of deadly wildfires, 9/11, and the hurricanes Katrina, Rita, and Sandy by traveling to Texas and stopping first at the Freeman Coliseum to feed the first responders who were on the front lines of Hurricane Harvey. Little Caesars has started providing consumers with something that might be even better, the Pizza Portal, even though you can't call and order a pizza for delivery. The concept entered testing phases in August 2017, according to Digital Trends, with the intention of being deployed at locations around the nation. Customers simply need to download the app, place their pizza order, and complete payment to receive a 3-digit number. Pull up to the Pizza Portal at your neighborhood Little Caesars, stop, and enter your code. Then comes the pizza. Theoretically, you may order any type of pizza using the app or site. According to Little Caesars, the goal is to make it as easy as possible for customers to acquire their pizzas. The intention is to avoid lines and waiting, but as a byproduct, introverts will appreciate this quiet pizza delivery. Little Caesars is run by a family. The family business is run by Mike, Marion, and several of their kids. Mike and Marion make sure that every one of their 7 children contributes to the growth of the business. In reality, the links went beyond the immediate family because about 85% of Little Caesars franchisees are family members, some of whom have 3 generations running the company. Additionally, according to Mike Ilitch, the vice presidents of the business all began their careers working in restaurants, which contributed to the business' quick expansion. Crain's Detroit business published some staggering statistics in 2017, and those statistics showed how much money Little Caesars has invested in Detroit's redevelopment. The Ilitch family-owned Olympia Development of Michigan has invested a startling $926 million as of July 31st on projects like Little Caesars Arena and the structures within a 50-block radius of the stadium. It is unclear what kind of influence the monies will have on the region, but about 90% of the money went directly to businesses in Michigan. Naturally, there are others who are skeptical of the proposal, but proponents are optimistic that the arena, which will serve as the home of both the Red Wings and the Pistons and hold 41 games annually for each team, would become the beating heart of a revitalized Detroit. According to the Chicago Tribune, the District Detroit project will have cost $1.2 billion when it is finished. The cutting-edge stadium immediately acquired the moniker Pizzarena, and fans hope it will mark the beginning of the city's resurgence, due in large part to Little Caesars. "We lost a nice guy, didn't we?" One customer was reported as saying by the Detroit News following the death of Little Caesars founder Mike Ilitch on February 10, 2017. Because he did many things quietly, the public isn't even aware of how good he was. Sports Business Journal first spoke with Damon Keith, a judge from Detroit, in 2014. Keith came forward in order to let everyone know what Ilitch had done for Rosa Parks for 11 years. He had paid her rent. Parks was attacked, battered, and robbed in 1994 when she was at home in Detroit. At the time, she was 81 years old, and Keith made a commitment to her that he would find her a secure home to live. Ilitch contacted him and offered to pay her rent as long as he got in touch with him first, and he did, up until her passing in 2005. He didn't discuss it, he simply carried it out. In addition to contributing millions to regional charities, supporting college scholarships, kid sports leagues, and providing free sponsorship to Detroit's struggling industries, Keith wanted everyone to be aware of it. Keith remarked that, among all the amazing things the man had accomplished for the city, people ought to be aware of what he did for Rosa Parks. Little Caesars, however, is not well liked in Detroit, and in 2017 they were sued over pizza that was marked as halal. The pizza was advertised as halal but wasn't, according to Mohamed Bazzi of Dearborn, and it wasn't until he had some ordinary pepperoni that he realized he had consumed pork. The lawsuit claimed that Bazzi's wife, who was raised Catholic but converted to Islam, knew the pepperoni was unquestionably made of pork, leaving them no choice but to sue Little Caesars for $100 million in damages in an effort to make their devout Muslim customers aware of the serious consequences of serving pork while making halal claims. Little Caesars claims that Bazzi switched his order from a halal pizza to a hot and ready pizza that isn't marked halal, so the restaurant company is not at fault. The judge finally decided to dismiss the lawsuit. There is a rumor that ordering pizza and saying pizza during the order process would result in complimentary crazy bread. We all enjoy hidden menus. And a Redditor claimed that Little Caesars once had a code word that could get you a free order of crazy bread. Bamness, a poster, claimed to have tried it in 2013 and exclaimed, "Pizza, pizza," after placing his order. He received his free crazy bread and a thank you for being a regular client from a different employee who came out from the back after the one accepting the order had forgotten to get it. Who knows, but it's been roughly 15 years since that was a frequent occurrence. If you give it a try, you might get some crazy bread for free. Did you realize that the Little Caesars logo has a message? It goes without saying that businesses choose their logos extremely carefully and give a lot of thought to the sign that will represent their company. Even if you are familiar with the pizza-eating, toga-wearing mascot of Little Caesars, you might not have spotted the hidden message he has embroidered into some of his togas. In Detroit, there is a Little Caesars that is 243 feet tall. I'm sorry to disappoint you, But the biggest Little Caesar in the world is not a huge, ominous statue hidden away in a desolate place. In actuality, it is located in Detroit, Michigan, and is completely invisible from the ground. The 243 feet tall Little Caesars logo is painted on the roof of the arena, which was launched as the Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit in 2017. The Little Caesars Arena may not have the flashiest or most understated name, but according to MLive, its construction cost over $863 million, with nearly 38% of it coming from Detroit's taxpayers. The Little Caesars Arena is the home of the basketball franchise Detroit Pistons and the ice hockey team Detroit Red Wings. It also hosts concerts. Little Caesars has provided some peculiar menu choices. Of course, the menu at Little Caesars has a vast selection of spaghetti, pizzas, and other carb-heavy treats. However, Little Caesars has occasionally offered intriguing and perhaps bizarre menu options, some of which were delectable and others were plain bizarre. To pander to a fictitious takeout spaghetti market that might have existed in 1993, Little Caesars presented a spaghetti supper with 4 different pasta form variations. 20 years later, as part of its Pizza Kit fundraising program, Caesars finally introduced the Little Caesars Pizza Cones. Restaurants did not sell pizza cones, but non-profit organizations may buy the kits online and sell them to generate money for a variety of causes. The collapsed calzone and pepperoni pizza combination known as the Crazy Calzone, which Little Caesars launched in 2021, was described as looking like the outcome of a pizza lab disaster by Paste magazine. Similar to the Crazy Calzone in appearance, the Batman Calzone was introduced by Little Caesars in conjunction with the just-released Batman film starring Robert Pattinson. The insane bread bouquets Little Caesars presented for Valentine's Day 2022 are also worth mentioning, since garlic and cheese are undoubtedly the way to a person's heart. However, the Little Caesars Arena made headlines lately when the final holdout home in the neighborhood of the arena tragically burned down. The home was empty when the fire started. The Illich family organization exchanged the property for the arena for more than $50 million from private landowners. However, the final residence in the arena neighborhood, a 2-story home constructed in the 1800s, once had a $5 million price tag, making it the most pricey residence available in Detroit in 2017. Quite a few pizzas, in fact. Did you know Little Caesars couldn't use its pizza slogan in Canada? Pizza is Little Caesars' catchphrase, which is as iconic as the toga-clad man devouring pizza that is imprinted on every box and sign. The sentimental catchphrase isn't as old as you might assume, though. After Little Caesars launched its 2-for-1 pizza promotion in 1979, the now iconic and explosive tagline was first uttered. However, the well-known adage vanished for 15 years before it was reintroduced in Little Caesars' 2012 advertising. After Little Caesars was informed that it couldn't use the tagline pizza in its Canadian outlets, they got into some trouble. It turns out that Pizza, a competitor pizza restaurant, has previously copyrighted the saying for the name of the business. It is unknown if Little Caesars adopted the moniker as an inspiration for its well-known statement since Pizza initially opened in 1967. Therefore, Canadian Little Caesars establishments utilize delivery or quality in their ads in place of pizza. Not sure how much better that is, but a for effort. Little Caesars restaurants can be found in places including Canada, Honduras, Mexico, Costa Rica, Guam, the Philippines, Panama, Jordan, the Bahamas, Turkey, Egypt, Bahrain, Australia, and Guatemala as of 2018. In addition to their 2-for-1 specials, they are renowned for its hot and ready menu, which was created to make their best-selling foods immediately available for takeout. The Deep Pizza is one of their well-known pies. Pizzeria Dish, a 2013 edition. They also sell chicken wings and flavored bread. The NFL's official pizza is now Little Caesars. With its relationship with Postmates and Subway in 2020, the NFL will have a sponsor roster that is completely loaded with renowned food brands and fast food icons. Little Caesars will serve as the NFL's official pizza sponsor. The NFL announced in June 2022. Pizza Hut held the position prior to it from 2018 to 2022, and Papa John's before that from 2010 to 2018. The multi-year agreement with the NFL was described as one of its highest-profile collaborations to date, and as a key moment for the restaurant chain's future expansion in a statement to Forbes. The NFL relationship comes after Little Caesars' prior agreement with the NHL to serve as its official pizza delivery service for the 20,221 campaign. For more fast food restaurant origins, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when new content is uploaded.